guys, it's Steph here. I'm hanging out in my greenhouse. If you have not seen my channel, welcome. I live in a zone 6B climate. We are still in the dead of winter, so much snow, but it doesn't feel like it when I'm hanging out in my greenhouse. It's so beautiful in here. Anyways, a lot of my cold hardy annuals have put on a ton of growth, so today I need to start fertilizing some of them. In this video, I just kind of want to give you the simple tips on when you should start fertilizing, when you should not. The fertilizer that I use the same thing every single year. Just trying to keep it simple for myself. Let's take a look at all of them and I will give you those tips and hopefully make it uncomplicated for you. Here are my sweet peas. You can see that they're doing super good. Whoops, that one's... I'm actually gonna start needing to stake them up a little bit if they keep growing so big. I'm trying to get them out in the ground here in about a month, but you can see some are a little bit bigger than others. So my first tip when fertilizing is you don't wanna start fertilizing them until they have about 3 sets of true leaves. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't fertilized any of my plants yet. These smaller ones aren't gonna need it. They just can't handle the fertilizer yet. But as they get bigger, they need a little bit more. The soil is sterile, so it doesn't have any nutrients in it. But fertilizing them will help them to have a stronger root system, will make them more disease resistant, and hopefully make them bigger and more full of blooms and bigger blooms. So let's take a look at this ranunculus. I have some really small ones that are taking their time, but this one is getting quite a bit bigger. It's more established. I might actually have to transfer it to a bigger container. Hopefully not. Anyway, this is one I'm definitely going to start fertilizing. These I'm going to hold off on. So here are my Lisianthus. Really happy about these ones. I was so nervous about it, but I am doing really good. So I'm patting myself on the back. But right here, it's barely starting to get its 3rd set of leaves. I'm gonna wait for them to be a little bit bigger, but they are quite small. They're kind of funny though. What do these remind you of? They kind of remind me of the lips from The Little Mermaid, the lobster. Anyways, I'm just so happy these are doing so good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start fertilizing some of these plants. The first thing I did was just moisten the soil. That's a good idea. You're gonna release all those air pockets and it's really gonna be able to take in the fertilizer a little bit better. I'm actually gonna go ahead and do 50% strength for all of them in the beginning, and I'll gradually build up to that 100% strength as soon as they're all a little bit bigger and they're kind of used to a little bit of that fertilizer. So right here, I've got fish emulsion fertilizer. So that's your nitrogen. So this one's a little bit higher in nitrogen. And then I also like to use the seaweed extract because it's a little bit higher in the potash, so it balances out a little bit. So I'm just gonna try and give them a balance of all of those essential nutrients, the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and the potash. So right here, I love this one too. I used it on my early doll tomatoes last year and they just killed it. They were like 8 feet tall. They produced so much fruit and they were so sweet and delicious. So this I got off Amazon, this Just Sensational. It's funny when it says sensational because it smells so horrible. But this is a liquid fish soil enhancer. So it's kind of basically the same thing. Look at those numbers. It's a pretty good balance of nutrients. I also like these because they're all organic. So with organic stuff, they typically smell a lot worse. But I've run out of the seaweed extract. Normally I just mix these two together at equal parts. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this today on its own. So when you apply this, it says 4 ounces per gallon of water. So since I'm doing 50% strength, I'm gonna do 2 ounces per gallon of water. And then I just put it in this little sprayer. I'm gonna need to upgrade to something a little bit better because this one sucks. It was only like $5 at Walmart and they just break really easily. So if you guys have a good suggestion for a sprayer, I could really use it because mine are kind of all falling apart and breaking. Okay, that stuff smells far worse than I remember, but I'm just gonna go ahead and take these bigger plants and saturate them pretty well, give them a nice deep soaking with this fertilizer. And then in about a week, I'll do the same thing at 50% strength. I think the week after that, I'll go ahead and start doing the 100% strength. Okay, it's time to fertilize the ranunculus. So what I did was just put the ones that need fertilizing in their own trays, and the smaller ones over here. That just makes it a lot easier. Okay, so that is all I've got with fertilizing. Just make sure you're keeping your seedlings and your plants moist, not soggy, especially if you're watering them a little bit before you fertilize them. Just don't overdo it. That can be a big problem. You don't want dampening off where the plants are just dying from root rot because they're way too moist. So that is my last little tip on fertilizing. I hope you liked my fertilizing tips. Definitely hit the like button and the subscribe button. Thanks for stopping by. I really hope to see you guys in my next videos, and have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.